The courtroom isn't always the quietest and most civilized place, and lawyers aren't always the most popular of people. Ever wondered what crazy things could happen to them in courtroom? And we don't mean stuttering or losing a case. So in this video, we are going to show you the most incredible moments in court. The video is going to be amazing, so make sure you stick to the end.
I want my family back. I'm changed. Now things are getting decent.
Demetrius Lewis.
You're so gorgeous, Miss Judge. I just have to tell you, you're gorgeous.
A defendant did his best to woo the judge during a bond court appearance. Defendant Demetrius Lewis appeared before Judge Tabitha Blackman. However, just seconds into stepping in front of the camera for his virtual meeting, he starts laying on the moves. "Judge, you are so gorgeous, Judge. I just had to tell you." "You're gorgeous," Lewis is heard saying. Blackman thanked Lewis for his comments before responding, "Flattery will get you everywhere, but maybe not here." Lewis is facing a charge of attempted burglary of an occupied dwelling. He's being held on $5,000. Daniel Nicholson. Extraordinary footage has emerged of the moment a drug-affected prisoner jumped a courtroom dock during a chaotic escape attempt. Two sheriff officers were injured in the violent scuffle, sparked when the Adelaide criminal's bail was revoked. Daniel Nicholson flew into a drug-induced rage, overpowering two officers and launching himself over the dock. He lands on the bar table before being tackled to the floor by the police prosecutor. Nicholson manages to break free, only to be restrained by the same sheriff's officer he just fought off. He's then dragged backward as the scuffle continues. It was all witnessed by the man's lawyer and family members, including Nicholson's son. The 35-year-old was in Christie's Beach Magistrates Court last September for weapons and driving offenses. His lawyer says when his bail was revoked, Nicholson freaked out. After finally being taken away to the cells, he was charged with escaping custody and recklessly causing harm to the sheriff's officers. One suffered a broken foot and had to wear a moon boot for 8 weeks. Nicholson, a father of 4, has been behind bars ever since the incident. Nicholson's lawyer said his client had a long-standing issue with illicit drug use and was under the influence of methamphetamine that day, adding he was genuinely remorseful for his behavior. However, prosecutors have pleaded with the judge to keep Nicholson locked up. He is due to be sentenced next month. Before we move on, support us by hitting subscribe and the bell icon to get notified when we post new videos. Now let's get back to our topic. Todd Pate, a former Breckinridge County, Kentucky, the sheriff has pleaded guilty and is behind bars. Todd Pate is now in the Grayson County Detention Center after he was sentenced Thursday for a DUI charge. His attorney, Douglas Vowles, said Pate turned himself in on Wednesday. His arrest in March 2019 was his second DUI. His previous DUI arrest was in October 2015 in a Waffle House parking lot in Bowling Green. In that case, he was charged with DUI, reckless driving, and terroristic threatening. He didn't spend any time in jail because his 30-day sentence was suspended. He paid an $800 fine. Pate is required to serve 75 days in jail, but with credits will only have to serve 29 more days, according to his attorney. He pulled and entered into a pretrial diversion, Vowles said. Vowles said that means his charges will be dismissed. He had been sheriff since 2003 before retiring at the end of February. County residents had petitioned for Pate to resign. Kentucky law does not allow voter recall of an elected sheriff. In March, Billy Richardson was appointed sheriff of Breckinridge County. One goal is just to restore the image of the sheriff's office, Richardson said. He talked to VDRB News and said he's working hard to get the sheriff's office moving in the right direction. Get our office running efficiently, get us up to date on policies and procedures, just kind of get us going in the right direction and get the sheriff's office back on track, he said. While some say the credibility of the sheriff's office took a hit because of Pate's charges, other community members said it shouldn't bear the weight of his mistakes. You kind of realize that just because Todd or whoever has done what he's done, it doesn't reflect on the entire department, Breckinridge County resident Jonathan Voiles said. Donald Roberts. A man accused of an unarmed robbery had to be forcibly restrained by police and removed from the courtroom after attacking an attorney during his hearing. Donald Roberts, 65, was representing himself in the case at the Washtenaw County Trial Court. The prosecution had just introduced a statement from a doctor saying Roberts was incompetent to stand trial when he attempted to violently lift the lectern he stood behind. Roberts then grabbed attorney John Vella by both arms and pushed him for a few moments before 3 or 4 deputies from the Washtenaw County Sheriff's Office tackled Roberts to the ground. Judge David Swartz had appointed Vella as a standby attorney in the case. Vella was at the defense table a few feet from the lectern when Roberts began his outburst. Many of those sitting in the filled courtroom gasped with shock at the scene. Officers then successfully detained Roberts and hauled him out of the courtroom. When Roberts was gone, Swartz set a competency hearing for August 17 at 11:30 a.m. He appointed Vela counsel for that hearing. Shannon Fox Hamlin.
No, I won't go. You understand? Don't shit me before I go. I won't go.
A Williamsburg woman who appeared in Whitley County Circuit Court regarding probation and parole violations was arrested after allegedly creating a disturbance in the courtroom and assaulting a bailiff.
And who's representing you today?
I'm represented by Jesus Christ.
Shannon Fox Hamlin, 42, denied representation when Judge Paul Winchester attempted to appoint her a public advocate, saying that she had the right to refuse legal counsel and that Jesus Christ would be representing her, according to courtroom video obtained from the Whitley County Court Clerk's office. Ron Findell, a public advocate, then spoke up, acknowledging that Hamlin had the right to represent herself.
I want my family back. I'm changed. No, they need Jesus like this.
I can, said Hamlin, and Jesus is going to represent for me. I do not want legal counsel. The video shows that Hamlin continues to argue with Winchester before denying a parole officer's testimony that she had been unavailable during a random home visit. She also contested the results of a drug test that she allegedly failed in December, insinuating that the test may have been tampered with, saying that she did not use drugs. Winchester sustained a motion by the Commonwealth Attorney to revoke her probation and ordered bailiffs to escort Hamlin out of the courtroom and take her into custody. Hamlin struggled with bailiffs, continuing to plead her case. I want to speak to this judge, please. My life is at stake. I will die in prison, said Hamlin. I won't go. You'll have to shoot me because Jesus said I won't go, and I'll stand bold on his word. He said, stand bold and have faith, and you won't go. I won't go. Hamlin persisted to resist bailiffs before finally being led out of the courtroom, though she could still be heard yelling once restrained. Hamlin was arrested and charged with contempt of court, second-degree assault, resisting arrest, second-degree disorderly conduct, and public intoxication, controlled substances. She was jailed in the Whitley County Detention Center. Anthony Waller. A federal jury has awarded $50,000 to a former Denver jail inmate who was slammed into a courtroom wall by a sheriff's deputy in 2012. The Denver Post reports the jury declined to award punitive damages to Anthony Waller, who alleged in a lawsuit that former Deputy Brady Lovingier violated his civil rights. Jurors also didn't find the city or sheriff department responsible for the actions of Lovingier, who no longer works for the sheriff's department. The award was detailed in a verdict form filed on May 12 in U.S. District Court. Waller was speaking to a county judge during a September 2012 hearing on an assault case. Lovingier grabbed him by a chain around his waist and slammed him into a wall. Waller contended that the attack was unprovoked and that he suffered broken teeth and head wounds. Lovingier was suspended for what officials deemed excessive force, but he argued the force was necessary. Former Denver District Attorney Mitch Morrissey declined to prosecute Lovingier, saying he did not intentionally hurt Waller. Other deputies in court when the incident happened said Waller was acting aggressively. But a Denver District Court judge later said prosecutors should have charged Lovingier with misdemeanor assault. By that time, the statute of limitations had passed. Activists had criticized Morrissey's office for declining to bring charges against law enforcement officers, particularly in cases involving police shootings and use of force. So that's it. Please like, share, and comment with your thoughts below if you like this video. Remember to subscribe to see our next video. Stay safe, and we will be back soon with another video.